welcome to another thrilling edition of PremierTwo. My name is Peter, and thank you for joining me on a beautiful day in Tokyo, Japan. I am not alone tonight. This chair is for none other than the affable one himself, the Sunday Times bestseller, the king of karate. Karage. Do you know karate? He doesn't know karate. He's not the king of karate. He's the king of karage. He is the terror of Legoland, Mr. Chris Broad.
How you doing, everyone?
If you guys did not know, this is Mr. Chris Broad. He is here today, and what we're gonna do is something special. We've been long thinking about this.
Well, these are so good.
We're really just going to do a food review. Today, we're going to go look back at the years that were. We're going to look back at a couple of videos from our times together. We're going to have the pause button ready. So if we have some sort of like thoughts or behind the scenes or knowledge that you guys might not be familiar with.
We got 3 videos, right?
We got 3 videos.
One's from 2021, one's from 2022, and one's from 2023-4. We're going to watch them. Get more and more decrepit and disheveled throughout each year.
I think it's just my weight gain history. This is gonna be like, look, his hair's getting longer and he's just getting bigger. All right, so this was the very first video we'd ever done. However, it's our second trip together. We had known each other for several years at this point. We went to Yamagata together.
We know each other for 3 or 4 years at this point.
Yeah.
3.5 years.
Maybe even longer. So, no.
I think we met 2017.
Is that right?
And we filmed this in March 2021.
So about 4 years after that. And the last time I had seen really you, it was before the Journey Across Japan 1 for sure.
What's incredible about this is you'd already started streaming by this point.
I had been streaming for a few months, like 5 or 6 months at this point.
And you only had like 6 or 7 viewers.
I had less than that. You were one of them sometimes.
And I remember tuning in, watching Premiere2, and it was just Pete and 6 viewers. And I was like, Pete's tenacity is impressive.
Well, thanks.
Because I couldn't do that. But like, you know, you really went for it. And you had that really nice little gathering. Not like now, you know, you're a big empire.
Bad gathering now. Look at this.
You're the Goliath.
No.
You were the David back then. Now you're Goliath. You're out of your depth. You're too big. You're too powerful.
I'm not too big. I'm not too powerful. The thing is back then, you had asked me as soon as I'd started streaming during like this whole COVID, everyone had a lot more free time, a lot more chances to do stuff, and you said, "Do you want me to use my platform to shout you out?" And I was like,
"No, I didn't."
Yes, you did. You were kind. You were saying, "I can, if you need a little boost, let me tell people about it." And I specifically was like, "Please do not do that. I need to figure out if I'm even enjoying this or if I'm good at it." And we kind of agreed that when the video came out, it would be a natural way to introduce it instead of it just being, go check out Pete's channel.
I encourage you to try and do the whole Twitch stream.
Oh, yeah, you were very supportive.
I was like, just do it, man. You're going to kill it because you're a natural presenter, comedian, performer. This trip was really early on in Premiere2.
It's very early.
And I remember towards the end of the trip, when we were talking about Premiere2 a lot, you were quite excited and we thought up different names for the channel. And I was pushing Pete to call himself like Premier Pete.
No, you were not. I have what you gave me.
That was one of several ideas.
Premier Pete was my idea.
No, it wasn't.
No, yes.
Bollocks.
Chris had 2. He had Pete's Tokyo Tavern.
I like that still, Pete's Tokyo Tavern, because I said, when you enter into the Premiere2, it's like joining Pete in the pub. You're sitting there, you're chatting with people, it's great. You're usually drinking something, like a pub atmosphere.
What about Pete's Intimate Onsen? See, that sounds quite nice.
That sounds like a porn series. And then the other suggestion was Wabi Sabi Pete.
Wabi Sabi Pete.
Because Wabi Sabi is about imperfection. And being a bit rough around the edges. So this opening shot where we start our massive journey across Hokkaido, this is Hakodate, and this is one of the top 3 night scenic views in all of Japan. Welcome to Hakodate City, gateway to Hokkaido. I'm taking one last look at it because we're about to embark on a 500-kilometer 3-day journey to Japan's most extreme northern point, across one of the most remote and isolated places in the entire country. And if we make it back from this road trip in one piece, it'll certainly be one hell of a journey to remember, complete with noisy crows.
There he is, the noisy crow.
Fucking crow. I love that shot.
That's a great shot.
Oh man, we got some killer drone footage on that.
Hokkaido is Japan's second largest island and home to the country's most extreme northern point, Cape Soya,
adding a
1,000 kilometers north of Tokyo, and just 45 kilometers south of the Russian island of...
I mean, it's such a nice shot. I remember that area in North Hokkaido. I was not nervous because I'd known you long enough to know that you'd be good on camera. And I think, often I meet YouTubers that want to collab and do stuff, and I'm like, no. because I don't know enough. And you have to have like a real relationship and a friendship with someone when you make a video with them, I think. Otherwise, you'll kind of like, you'll feel it on camera that it's not authentic.
Joining us on the trip is my best American friend, Pete, a presenter on Japanese TV who promises to drive me insane along the way.
Important thing, when we did this video, don't forget this was the height of COVID still. 2020, 2021. 2021, there was like a resurgence in COVID and all of Japan was shut down again. And we kicked off the journey just as like all of Hokkaido was like, and nothing's open now.
Yeah.
And so it was it was like ghost trip, this whole thing. And this morning market in Hakodate is usually so busy.
Really?
It's so busy. And we got there and there was, literally 6 people here. The
This
people
is
on the left here.
Yeah, their staff.
The people on the left are the people running the shops. And they were like begging us to come in. They were like, please buy our crabs.
Yeah.
Please buy our grapefruit that we randomly have. And we were like, shoto sumimasen. A bit busy, innit?
Oh, so it's 7 o'clock in the morning, guys, and we're at Hakodate
I was
morning
very
market.
nervous
Before we
here.
begin this long
Very
journey, I
nervous.
thought,
I framed
get
it
some
so you
breakfast, get
could
some
see how
seafood,
fucking
given that's
empty it
what
was,
this place is famous for. And also, worth introducing you to the guy who's coming on the journey with us, Pete, my
nice
best
hair.
American
Still doing the
friend.
same poses.
Probably.
Thank you.
I think you are.
That's quite the compliment. I'm probably your only American friend.
See, I
Chris,
knew
I
even
gotta say,
back
we've been
then it
friends for
was
many
only
years.
for a
We
moment.
met in a video game bar in Shinjuku about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh my God.
I remember you did announce yourself. You don't know me. I'm the great
Young
Chris
Pete.
Broad.
And you know, one of the things
beautiful
that
reason.
you often had to tell me or remind me or instruct me is, and it's still something I don't really do that well, is I always look at the person I'm talking to and very rarely look at the camera. And you had to keep telling me, look at the bloody camera when you're presenting. And I was like, I'm sorry. He was like, include them for fuck's sake.
Trick to success on YouTube, treat the camera like it's your mate.
No, of course, but like on
Talk to
streaming.
the camera like it's your mate.
Of course, but
Look into the camera.
look into this camera.
Our first stop on our 3-day road trip is the coastal town of Otaru, 250
Oh, right,
kilometres north
Otaru.
of Hakodate, and neighbouring the
first
regional
trip.
capital.
Actually, before on the way there, we were supposed to go to some sort of like a museum or.
Oh yeah, we were going to go to a town that got destroyed by a volcano, and they've like left the town there, and you can walk around it. And we're going to go there here and have a look. It was going to be like Pompeii in the snow, right? You know, if Pompeii got by Vesuvius, to put it lightly. This town.
I think that put it just about right.
This town got by the volcano. Too much volcano. Luckily, nobody died, as my understanding. It was, as you guys say in the comments, too much volcano.
It was too much.
But it was also too much snow. And so we got there and they were like, Chotto, shut this. You can't come in because it's 8 foot of snow. And we're like, fuck. So already our trip got off to a bad start. And I think there was one other place I wanted to go, maybe a curry restaurant,
Closed.
which we went to a year later with Natsuki and Joey. And that was closed, because of COVID. So very quickly realised, wait a minute, a lot of things are going to be shut. This could be a pretty crap trip.
Well, I
Which
remember
meant we had to sort of turn, and it meant that I had to turn the next few days focused to finding attractions that were more like nature focused.
Well, actually, 2 things. I remember. One, you said, you know, as we were getting on the beginning of our journey, optimism was never higher. Things were, it was going to be the greatest trip ever. You go, this will be a great video. I can't wait. And then about 48 hours in, we hadn't filmed anything yet because we'd lost like 4 different places. Because Otaru, the whole town was shut down too. And then you go, well, it might go on the 2nd channel.
I did say that.
And then I was like, whatever works, man.
Pete was so disappointed.
I was fine. And then you said, perhaps a YouTube story. Or you said an Instagram story. A reel. Or not even a reel yet. They didn't even have that. It was supposed to be like a 8 bookmarked image.
The 3rd channel, the clip channel.
The clip channel.
It's true. As more things went wrong, on the first day, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be going on the main channel or the 2nd channel.
Or anything,
Or maybe in the bin. But anyway, we carried on.
This will be a Facebook ad. So wait, well, you know who actually ended up helping out a lot, finding all these, it was Ian. Ian helped clutch up and kind of go, okay guys.
We messaged Ian.
Get there.
Well, like, Ian,
in one
help us
piece.
find places while we're driving. I will say this video has one weak point, and it's the bit coming up where we had to stage you discovering.
Coastline.
Yeah, and I told you this was a bad
The
idea.
city of Otaru.
This
the blue
was-
sky
this is
the worst
quickly
bit of the video.
disappears, and
I'm
we
gonna
get
tell
our
you right
first
now,
taste
I don't
of
even wanna
weather.
see
But
it.
amidst the snowfall,
I don't even
Pete
wanna
spots
see it
something
again.
rather odd out to sea.
Really, what I should have done there
yeah.
is gone, we saw something really odd out to sea and then cut to the cool rock.
Yes.
But instead I came up with this contrived idea where Pete would literally see it.
They
And people
want-
then were like, the whole video's staged. Even though,
Yeah.
the video was just sort of made up as we went along.
But it was actually the most organic video, I think, that until we'd done in a while, it was like, you know, even since then, this is like so much stuff was
But
unplanned.
now let's watch Pete awkwardly pretend like...
Well, before I didn't get a lot of takes on this. I got one, and we did 2. After I did the first one, which was pretty natural, you insisted, and I mean insisted, you said, I have to say a glitch in the Matrix.
It wasn't that line. It was just something about it. It was just all a bit weird. Like, watch this. Let's see the most staged Pete, legendary award-winning actor.
The Kennedy Center would be disappointed.
Who had to pretend like he'd seen a rock that looked good.
What the hell was that? Chris, pull over.
That was good.
What?
I saw like a glitch in the Matrix. It was a floating rock.
I think it's pretty good.
Rock.
Yes, you got to see it.
What have you been drinking this morning, P?
So you just gone to that.
We should just cut straight to that with the voiceover. You gotta admit though, what a fucking cool scene.
Yeah, and like the snow was beautiful.
It looks like, I don't know what, it looks like Game of Thrones where the White Walkers are from. But like, the rock is called Ebisu Rock, I think?
Yeah,
Ebisu Rock. It's a very remote corner of Hokkaido, and it was a pretty late addition to the day.
I think it was the second day. It was after we'd stayed overnight because
Ian found it.
Yeah,
and I'd read about it before a few years previously, and I was like, yeah, it's a rock. But I think if it hadn't snowed, it wouldn't look this good. It's the
perfect.
snow, the red Torii Gate, the rock that looks like it's fucking precariously balanced. It was amazing. I really put a lot of emphasis on cinematography on this episode, and I had so much fun with the drone on this.
He said, I was hoping you'd throw Pete off of it.
Was that Ian?
Yes.
Yes. Why
it's
not?
Amazing how the drone could get such steady shots with all the wind.
I remember flying the drone up and it was like shaking really badly, and I was genuinely like, "There's a 50% chance the drone's not coming back."
And I think you had just lost one in a river
a year before I'd lost a drone.
Yeah.
Not because of wind, just poor stupidity. What a twat.
I like to hear that part of the trip.
I
Good.
like to hear that story.
Look at that rock, Chris.
Yes.
Have you ever seen something like that?
No.
Try to be a little more excited, please.
A drumstick-shaped rock that sticks out of the sea, somehow defying the laws of physics and gravity.
Yes, a drumstick, because that's all you think about is chicken.
How dare you?
Bastard.
How dare you?
See, when it's unscripted, you get comments like that. That one was not rehearsed.
I just hope there's no earthquake anytime soon in Hokkaido.
Yeah, that would be a shame.
Ebisu Rock is getting the chop. But isn't that cool? And also, somebody in the comments said it must be super cold. It was fucking freezing.
But not the coldest we were going to get.
It was I think it was -15. There was a serious wind chill because this is the sea that goes over to Siberia, right?
Yeah.
And the wind smashes into West Hokkaido, sorry. And it is bone-chillingly cold. So we couldn't get out the car for long.
Well, we did, though, because it took about 45 minutes to get all the shots.
No, it didn't. I'd say we were there about 20 to 30 minutes. My hands were freezing holding the drone remote control, right? My hands were so cold.
I think you went into the car to pilot it, like inside.
A little bit.
Yeah. That was a great spot. I'm glad, like, that was, it still remains to me, like, one of the coolest things I've seen out inside.
It really is one of those places that the snow, and also the snow falling, if it wasn't falling, it wouldn't have had that depth to it, that mystery and intrigue. So in Otaru now.
Just half an hour away from Hokkaido's main city of Sapporo, Otaru has something of a steampunk vibe going on, thanks to its old-world European architecture, left over from its days as a bustling port town in the 19th century.
We had to wait for this thing to go off.
The steam clock puffing away at the heart of the city to its famous canal, lined with stunning historic warehouses.
And honestly,
look at that shot, so cinematic.
It is.
But a handsome young man.
So I'll tell you right now, though, Chris was actually, and this was not the best of filming days because this was before we went to Otaru's Ebisu Rock, and the problem is that we couldn't get any footage of anything. Like there was a couple of stores that had like clocks or knickknacks or things, and none of it was really that appealing. So we'd try to go to a brewery across this river, and they would serve us food. We're the only two people in this
German brewery,
warehouse. And they said, we cannot serve you any alcohol.
Oh, it was so ridiculous.
It was like
we could serve you drink and food, but you can't have alcohol. And it was this weird policy Japan had instigated at the time that was a bit flawed and a bit odd.
So it was like we didn't get anything filmed, so we were just trying to make it work.
I was getting quite depressed quite quickly, and there was only one restaurant open in the town in Otaru that we didn't film, a sushi restaurant, Sushi Zanmai.
That was fun.
Again, like this situation on paper, it's a disaster. All these things going wrong, places shut, whatever. But we turn it to our advantage by picking out those locations where COVID didn't affect them, as you'll see later on, and like Ebisu Rock, like we just saw.
The picturesque Otaru Canal. Finished construction.
Oh, cool Japan's Pete Macy. Here he is, fine presenting. Get your seatbelts on. Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me put my seatbelt on. Buckle up.
Buckle up, guys.
Sick Wikipedia reading off.
Hey,
presenting.
you know what? It's hard just to step into this and try, to get it right.
Get ready to learn from the master.
In 1923, as the booming shipping market was full effect, this quiet and idyllic place is perfect for a romantic getaway or a special time with that someone in your life. Stop it. Get that out of my face.
You keep zooming in. It's like, it's so close to my face. I can see myself in the reflection of the lens.
Around for a day trip, and undeniably, at its
know what?
the winter months. Because look, there's a snowman.
That was such a great shot, too.
Hey, look at this, man. There's a bunch of snowmen, and there's about a dozen. Look at that one right over there. We found the little Chris Broad special. He's got a little top hat and a scarf and a little pipe.
Which one's you then?
That one in the back right. One with the smiling face. Oh, it just fell over.
It did, like, the head slid off a little bit.
Starbucks coffee all over.
Just make sure if you do come to Otaru in winter, don't forget to bring some gloves.
Peter no gloves.
It was so cold,
He
man.
couldn't get his hands out of his pockets.
It was so cold.
I remember how cold that was right there. And again, this little bustling area, usually with shops and food and ice cream, it was all shut.
Oh, even though it says open, this was closed. That was definitely closed.
It's so cold. Oh, shit. My hands. Look at this. I'm a weak little Kansan boy.
It is
Take me
true.
to the hospital. My hands are freezing.
As the blizzard picks up.
That was a cool shot. I remember, going in there.
So we found one place that had hotel space in Otaru, and it was this place which had one bedroom with 2 twin beds in, and then a room with capsules. I think there was 6 capsules.
Yeah.
And we had the whole place to ourselves, right?
Yep.
And Pete and I were supposed to stay in the twin room, but because the capsule room was free, he was like, I'm not sleeping with you. I'm at my own room.
Why not? There were 6 capsule beds to choose from.
And there was a really nice man working there who was just baffled that 2 foreigners traveling around Japan when there was no foreigners in Hokkaido.
And I think that night he was like, we were like, can you, because there's a kitchen down the stairs.
There was a kitchen. There was like a little restaurant
and
downstairs.
And he was like, yeah, but you have to...
It wasn't allowed to service though, because of COVID stuff, yeah.
But he did give us a sample.
We head off to seek shelter in our
This is what you could have had.
Yeah. He brought it up to us. It was really good.
Accommodation, which looks more like a pirate's lair than your typical Japanese inn.
I had this like room upstairs where Pete and I had his first stream together.
Yeah, we did a stream there. That was a lot of fun.
And Pete was so nervous. This is holy ground, this place, this room.
Yeah.
Because Pete was on the floor by the chair.
Yeah.
And he was so nervous because it was the first stream that we're promoting. And it had a few hundred, I think it had like 2,000 people watch it or something.
I can't remember, but...
and he was like shaking, he was nervous, and he made this big monologue about how I'm the BBC Rambler, the British Bellend, the Karaage King or some shit.
The Sage of Sakata.
Yeah, some bollock. And I had to come in and be like, all right. He did like a 10-minute monologue, bigging me up, and I just walked in like, oh, hello.
Yep, that was great times.
Well, yeah, did anybody see that? Did anybody see this holy...
There are some people who found the channel originally from that, and there's no VOD of it, there's no history. And the thing was, you were
The lost. But the Star Wars Christmas holiday special.
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars holiday special.
Well, the thing that was tough was that you really were supporting. You're like, why don't you just do it? And I was like, I don't know, Chris. I don't know. We had to do it on my phone using like the Twitch app, or like I did that. It was not an optimal way of doing it at all. I didn't. It was just so many things could go wrong that did. But I was extremely nervous about that one.
Rightly so.
I like that improv. Now this right here, this is an important thing. This was remember, I got one shot.
Let's take a look behind this guy.
And
watch his hands.
Watch the left hand.
Oh,
God, that hurts so bad. That hurts so goddamn bad. And if you watch in slow motion, which we're about to do, it was extremely painful.
God. That was like bomb-proof door.
And like,
it's really heavy.
Yeah, so we're moving.
Goodbye left hand.
And
goodbye fingers. Oh, they could have been worse. They could have been worse.
Look at this place. This is amazing.
And quite romantic.
Ah.
Petite choux.
My little cabbage.
Here's my lens.
Chris,
Smack
we have
my lens.
outdone ourselves tonight.
Listen to the noise he made. Oh, that's my actual lens.
Quite
Listen.
romantic.
$20,000 lens.
Oh,
That's a $3,000 lens.
I didn't know.
Oh,
Brilliant.
Sorry, it's a little ding.
Somebody's like, was that added in post? No, that was him smashing a fucking glass into my lens.
And oh my God, look at this! Look at.
I love beanbags.
I love beanbags. I haven't used one in like 27 years.
I just say the same shit. That's what I do, though. That's why I didn't know I was going to say the exact same thing. But yeah, I do love beanbags. Ow, I do love them.
Will be our home for tonight. Let's kick back.
I love that when you put your hands behind your head like that.
Yeah,
so
nice little showmanship.
It was really nice though. Again, like, you know, outside it's like the fucking Arctic, so cold, so, you know, bitter. And then inside, you know, you've got old Swanky Macy on his beanbag, smashing up lenses, falling down the stairs.
Smashing my fingers.
It was 10 past 10 in the evening. It was nice and cozy.
It was.
Some sort of coffee on screen on the TV, weirdly. And again, we had this whole massive building to ourselves. You know,
this was the only part of the. You went outside.
So I had to go outside.
Yeah.
Outside for this shot, and I had Pete on call.
Yeah.
And I said, Pete, when I say the magic word, switch off the bedroom light. And then
wait. It was over here.
Oh shit.
That's okay.
There you go. Pete's big job. And then nice drone shot.
Nice drone. Wait, there's one thing though that you know, it's the missing footage. We were so worried about not having enough content because everything was canceled and closed. So do you remember what we did instead there that night?
No.
You don't remember this?
Sushi?
No, after sushi.
No.
We filmed a series of beer commercials from Otaru's brewery.
Oh, we did, yeah.
That we bought 6 or 7 cans from 7-Eleven and some crisps. And we had the most ridiculously, and it didn't fit the vibe of the rest of the video, but we were like doing like a SNL type sketch.
You were really funny though.
Yeah, it was fun stuff.
But I thought it was a bit, it killed the momentum of the video.
Yeah.
When you're editing a video, there needs to be a momentum to it. And we were spending too much time in the house. But it was really funny. Pete was like drinking beer like, the last beer you need before you die, or whatever.
I can't remember, but there was like 5 or 6, and there was a certain British phrase I said that you ended up repeating to me a bunch when I was just like, it wasn't sausages, but...
We do put a lot of the deleted scenes on Patreon.
But not that one.
But I don't think that made the cut.
But I remember it was like 7 different vignettes of, I think I was progressively getting drunk or different characters. And
yeah.
I don't remember. It was like 3 years ago.
So back on the road, 200 kilometres to Fudanol from Otaru.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I am a little bit dubious because it's quite snowy today. A lot snowier than it was yesterday. And
that was
quite stressful driving in the snow. Yeah, it got like whiteout snow levels.
I don't know. I was going to say I can imagine.
I can imagine, but you can't. It just gave you up there.
I'm just sitting here. No, but how far is it to Fudanol?
200 kilometers.
Actually, you thought so, but you'd be wrong. It's going to be about 230 kilometers because I have found us a nice little detour.
And by I mean Ian.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense to say like, hey, Ian found this thing. But like, Ian found that.
Yeah, look, I know we're going to my Kansas.
Millions of years ago in England, people dragged rocks to a hill and stacked them. For what purpose, we don't know. And now in Japan, it's been faithfully and exactly recreated. Behold, Stonehenge of Hokkaido.
I spent like 2 hours putting that eye patch on your face and making it kind of just fit with your eye. So seeing this, it's like PTSD flashbacks to the edit.
So one of the things about...
But your voiceover there, I love your British accent there. It was so good. That was the highlight of the video.
No.
Millions of years ago, some people dragged rocks up a hill. Such an accurate description of... I've been to Stonehenge with Natsuki, you know, and Joey the anime man, and you, but the Japanese one.
So wait. The other thing was, this was...
What is this, Pete?
What's a cemetery?
A cemetery with a replica to scale of Stonehenge. Look eerily like the real thing, albeit
I wonder if they're actually
newer.
rocks.
And also,
they probably are.
If this was the UK, it wouldn't be under a metre of snow. I guess another thing that gives it away that we're not in the UK are the 24 Easter Island heads just over there.
Again, this is a cemetery. Imagine Pete dies. I'm like, I know exactly where he needs to be buried. We don't want a quiet, tranquil park under the river. We want Stonehenge and Easter Island. That's exactly where Pete wants to be buried.
Just kind of between my two spiritual anchors.
We could bury you here.
I would like that.
Next to Stonehenge.
I'd forgot that they'd put little masks on 2 or 3 of them on some of these Stonehenge guys.
I know, and that's no small task.
The other thing about this particular, like this segment of the video, is it was bitterly cold, and I had bought a coffee from a vending machine. I was trying to use it for warmth. It was just, there's nothing to help at this point, because this actually took us a couple hours to film everything and to get it right and to get all the narration and stuff. But it was very, very cold.
Someone says, I mean, who built these and why? An inspired explorer seeing these things in other countries, or a more modern interpretation to bring about tourists. Fascinating, but I can't help but ask why.
Why?
Because people in Japan don't travel overseas. Domestic tourism is a big deal here. People don't travel that much. Why go to Easter Island when you can bring Easter Island to you?
Exactly. A little taste of the UK.
And Stonehenge to scale. But while those two were a little bit silly and a bit shit, the next attraction in this cemetery is genuinely very impressive and one of the highlights of the trip, I think.
Wow.
Wow. This is easily the most impressive Buddha statue I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes it so impressive for you?
I think the path, all of three of the Buddhists
It literally looks like an ICBM missile silo, right?
It's really gorgeous.
It's so otherworldly. And again, the snow, I think, really contributes to making it, insane. I'd love to go back there in the snow. I really would. I know the Trash Taste guys went there, I think, a year later for their special. Plagiarised half our route.
Well, you know what?
I think they went to 6 different locations I'd covered this year because they filmed in 2022 and we filmed in 2021. But
we beat them to it.
We mowed down the path for them for their special. I got
Designed
so
by
much
legendary
footage there.
Japanese architect Tadao Ando, who, amongst other things, helped design the Tokyo Skytree, the second
I was
tallest.
like, Pete, look left, look left. These shots, right?
Yeah.
The way these shots work, I literally say, Pete, turn from left to right slowly.
Yeah, I
and
get that.
have a whimsical expression. He went, okay, no problem, dude. And then he like does this.
And the other thing is, though, what you guys don't see is like, you guys see this, but what's actually happening, I'm gonna go full screen for a minute.
Quakes.
Chris is like, the entire time, he's like having to like angle these shots, and it's freezing. And he's like, look left. Look left. Just don't fuck it up. Look left.
It's so painful getting those shots. I usually do 3 takes of each shot, and then I pick out the best one, right?
Yeah.
But I had so much fun filming this place, and you need like a subject in the foreground to show the depth and show the scale of this thing. And Pete, credit where it's due. Pete's Cool Japan TV training, it saw him through to finish it.
Thank God.
And also, we got lucky with the sun coming over its shoulder, so you got a nice flare.
This shot right here. This is a fun one. This is already, we'd already eaten dinner and everything, but you wanted one more shot. Do you remember this?
So I went outside with the camera and I made Pete stand with a big blue light.
Yeah.
And because obviously without the light exterior, it was very dark, so we needed some light.
So you gave me one of these little aperture things, and I just held it above you for 20 minutes as we
essentially
got this one shot.
No, you shone it at the car.
Yeah.
We tried to. I think it's a bit too blue, personally, but
sorry,
yeah.
I chose the wrong cue.
Trying to conjure up the moonlight, but so we were freezing outside. Imagine if the door got locked and we couldn't get back into the house, so we just like freeze to death outside.
Oh my God!
Like The Shining.
That would be not fun.
But
I think don't I do a Shining joke here?
Yeah, it literally turns into The Shining because Pete and I are trapped in this like weird log house at the edge of the earth.
Nice kitchen table with perfectly lacquered and original wood. A nice stove. And a knife. We won't need that. I think.
It's crazy how the lighting, like, there just so happened to be, like, we didn't add that.
That wasn't
in
even
post.
editing.
No, it was just
literally
randomly.
Pete losing his mind.
What do you think of this place?
I need a drink.
You need a drink?
We can't. Children can't watch this. Look at him studying the map.
At last.
A much needed drink.
So it took about half an hour to frame this shot.
It did.
If you look at the shot a minute ago where Pete comes down the stairs, it's 9:30. Now it's 11:30.
Oh my God.
On the clock in the background.
So not a lot of fun. We were just trying to get our stuff finished, and we have. I think my phone goes off, like because I didn't know you could leave it always on.
Oh yeah, you see the little details. The phone over there, minus 11 degrees Celsius.
And I remember we put the broken mug there to remind people of the journey visually.
Yeah,
like why we're here. So nice.
Like that. If you're gonna have a big trip, have a map. Have a good old paper map.
You like a good paper map, don't you?
I do. I think it's all the essence of a good adventure. You need a paper map. Fun fact: Pete slept up here.
I did. There's these little futons you see in the corner.
He refused to share a room with me.
I mean, I just, I like to have some privacy. Go to bed,
You like to listen to radio while you sleep, right?
I do. I do like to listen to the radio.
So Pete needs his own special space, and he has to listen to Kansas Radio FM.
No, it was great. It was good. I like to go to bed to the
So
the white
you'll
noise.
go to the toilet in the middle of the night. You'll hear it's 5 o'clock in Kansas, and we're gonna get some barbecue now.
Yep, Kansas Radio.
Other than that,
Oh, this was the coldest.
Look at that, beautiful, beautiful cinematography. I was so remote, just sitting in this weird field. You get cup noodle in Japan, you go to the convenience store, you buy the cup noodle, and they have kettles.
Yeah, we filmed that.
Yeah, we filmed it. We didn't. Oh, I think it's coming up actually.
Oh, okay.
And then we drove for like 20 minutes, and it was like cold by the time we got there.
Yes. The worst though is that you insisted that this shot took about 10 or 15 minutes, and you have these kind of special long johns on that like protect you and insulate you. And I'm wearing blue jeans and briefs.
Don't come to Hokkaido unprepared.
Yeah, I understand. But
bring some fucking glove. Like this is a child would know this.
Yeah, I know.
I should probably bring gloves to the coldest place in like Asia.
So, but the problem is that my ass is completely frozen and soaked, and we had an 8-hour drive ahead of us. So the entire drive, my ass is so cold and wet and disgusting from ankle all the way up to my waist.
I will say Wakanai is pretty shit though.
Yeah.
I've been there twice now. We went back there for the first cycle with Connor.
You started there, right?
And it was like it's a pretty bleak town. There's nothing really happening there.
No.
People aren't overly friendly that we encountered. We went to like when I went with Connor for the cycle the night before we went for dinner. We went to like izakaya. We put our foot in the door, and there was like I'd say 60% of the seats were empty. And the man went, no, full. And
what?
we're like, is it though? And we had things like that happen a few times. But yeah, a bit unfortunate. But I don't think you need to go there, personally. There's not much to see, is there?
No.
It was a very anticlimactic end destination.
My wife.
Although technically it wasn't the end destination, because Wakanai isn't the most northern point, which we do go to after this.
Moshimosh. Whoa. Pito san.
Ooh, hey, buddy. Hey, Natsuki.
久しぶりだね. Long time.
Hello, Natsuki. It's Chris here as well.
Ooh, hello, Mr. Born in Japan. Together.
そうだよ。今北海道の稚内に着いたばかり。
Ooh, 稚内。やばいんじゃない? 雪は大丈夫?
Natsuki, last year, you remember you bought me a mug for my birthday.
覚えてるよ。熊のマグカップだよね。
Yeah, 超かわいい but I dropped it and I broke it.
それは残念だぜ.
A few weeks ago, I called you and I asked you, where did you buy the mug? And you said, and I quote, I bought it in a store in Wakanai. Which store did you buy it in?
それは何? どういうこと?
Sorry, Natsuki. Which store in Wakanai did you buy it in?
違うよ. わかんないだって. I don't remember.
What?
It's a very easy distinction to make.
稚内には行ったことがないよ. I don't remember been.
You fucking idiot. When he said Wakanai, he meant as in, I don't remember Wakarimasen, Wakanai.
Yeah, but why would he...
Wakanai, the town.
Yeah, Natsuki, why did you say you bought it in Wakanai?
Why would he use that...
そのカップは札幌で買ったんだと思うよ.
Oh, this way in the winter for nothing. When I'm through with you, Pete, this mug won't be the only thing that's broken. Fucking hell.
Also, he later informed me that mug that he bought was from a dollar store. It was like a Daiso mug. Fuck yeah. Cape Soya, Japan's most northern point. This was...
Oh, I don't believe it. We've actually made it to Cape Soya. And there it is. And it looks remarkably desolate and cold.
There it is. Yeah.
There's the shot.
Okay.
So we're driving in the car.
Yeah.
The fox was a little bit down the road. And I was like, quick, Pete, get the shot of the fox. It looks amazing, man. And I was like, I'm going to get the shot. And he got the camera. And he was like, oh, why is it all dark? I can't see it. What's going on? And I was like, the lens cap is on. And the fox was getting away. So I snatched the camera from him, dived out the car, I dived into some snow, and I got the shot.
But he was closer, and it was a better shot if I had just figured it out.
All this way for a broken mug, and he couldn't even get the shot of the fox.
Yeah.
Here we are, the northernmost point of Japan.
Let's go back.
That's it.
It's cold.
I got gloves at least.
All that for
There we
that.
are, folks. The end of the line. There's a monument up on the hill
This
over there.
part
the
was
Korean Airlines
infuriating because you took like 17 takes of this.
Did I?
Yes, because I'm holding the camera.
Because it was so, because you probably put the fucking lens cap on.
And on this one, I had to take my glove off to hold it so I could hit like the different things. and it took you so long, and you ended up not even showing yourself. You just showing this.
Plane 007, which was shot down by the Soviets in 1983. Tragically, 269 people lost their lives, and the plane actually went down, I think, about 100 kilometers in that direction.
That's a nice monument. We couldn't go up to it, though, so we're lucky we could catch the drone shot of it. Do you ever take a shot of something you may not be interested in, but think the viewers would be interested in seeing?
Yes.
But usually, I think if you take it, like...
You can check out Pete on his Twitch channel, PremierTwo.
That's the one. Look at that. What humble beginnings.
What are you at now?
Oh, a few more than that. But actually,
how many have you got
170 something.
No.
Like you snagged this from after the fact, right? This was not even accurate because there was a real problem on Twitch during this time where I had been raided by these robots in like these fake accounts, and it added like 4,500 followers. Because without that, like, luckily,
what happened now? You've got 190 something, 172,000.
Yeah, I've got no followers. But like, I remember I was like, well, that's not bad. At least we got 6. I think you even said I play retro games, and find somebody the way that I look at Chris over here. You know, that's what a nice guy.
Wow.
Twitch every other day of the week. There's no escape. He plays a lot of video games, a lot of retro games and things, right?
Yeah. When you said that, you once again sunk me because I was known as a retro game streamer for like a year. All because you said you play retro games, right?
Come have some fun with us, but I want to say, really, thank you very much for bringing me all the way up here for a mug.
Don't mention it. It was definitely worth it. But for now, guys, as always, many thanks for watching Abroad in Japan. Check out the Abroad in Japan Patreon for more behind-the-scenes content. But now we've got to drive back to Akanai. Long trip back to our hotel.
Hey.
There you go.
Pete's big debut.
Pete's big debut. And then
we haven't seen him since.
After that, you dropped me off at some place, and then you drove the car alone and got stuck in the mountains as you were trying to run out of gas.
I ran out of petrol in the mountains after dropping Pete off, and I had to sit for 2 hours in the middle of nowhere, fucking waiting for a man with a bit of gas to come along. And I didn't film that, thank God.
I felt so bad because you were like, you know, that whole day. I mean,
I had to rush Pete to the airport or something, so I didn't fill up on gas. And
Oh, yeah. No.
Pete,
No.
Pete died on the way back to his home planet.
No. We went to, when he says we were rushing, that means we went to Bikuri Donkey and we got a cheese hamburger that he insisted was the best cheese hamburger.
But I've tried to lure Pete onto another trip like this since. But
my God.
He's a big streamer now. He goes out and gets drunk with Connor every day instead.
I do that on my own as well. Don't include just him.
But
I've been trying to get Chris to go on these grand adventures, and he takes me to hidden beaches that he tries to kill me in. And
I'm totally down for a sequel.
I think we should go to the southernmost. I've got an old broken periscope. No, I don't have a broken periscope.
Need to do any more western points, southern points.
No, we can just go.
Central point.
Yeah.
I wonder what the most central point is in Japan. What is the most central point in Japan?
Great.
Enjoy exploring Tortikizoku.
What?
Experience.
What the f***?
I knew it.
Fuck's sake.
We've survived our first video.
So that was 2021. And then in 2022, we brought Pete back begrudgingly. So this is Pete's third big outing on Abroad in Japan. We had the one we just saw in Hokkaido. We had the teaching one where we just chilled in the studio, kind of like a podcast. And then one day I was like, Pete, this is my fitness point in my career, right? I had the big bad chest boxing coming up, and I was doing lots of fitness stuff, did Spartan races and cycles.
Yeah, you were very busy for the longest time.
And I was like, how can we combine fitness with fun? So I thought, let's just walk across Tokyo, fuck it, and film it. And I came up with a short list of candidates. They're all busy. And then Pete stood in.
I stood in. I'm here to help. I did as a pack mule. I was the last option that was called.
Yes, I thought, who's strong enough to carry my bags? Natsuki can't. He's smoking too much.
And I also coincidentally carried the video.
Okay, let's dive in. Ready?
All right, here it is.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning. We're in Asakusa, the most busiest place in Tokyo, and we're about to begin a 20-kilometer
the most busiest
walk across the world's biggest city.
I know all the grammar. I was an English teacher.
It's hard on the fly.
It's my third best American friend.
I moved down.
How you doing, Pete?
God, this backpack is
Okay, so look at this. So now we've changed. We have a new update.
Oh wow, it's 10 times the amount of followers.
Yeah, and then now it's 100,000 more than that. So
where's my cut of the deal? What do I get out of this?
I'm carrying it, and there's the awesome Boss Coffee jacket that I was excited to bring.
I want to get something clear here. You're telling me that you took Connor to Hokkaido, Joey to the beautiful island of Hokkaido.
Joey always gets the best deal.
He does.
What a prick.
I know.
Look at him diving off his $800,000 yacht in the seas of Okinawa.
And it's not hard to see why. It's the charming side streets filled with traditional architecture, leading up to the
we took these shots.
Temple.
It was an interesting time because
Tokyo, dating back to the
Thank you very much for the raid, brother.
Some call
it was an interesting time because Japan had just opened up 1 month before we started shooting, and there was like not that many foreign tourists at the time actually. So Japan was still kind of quiet. I have to say right now, this was not good.
It was not.
If you're in Asakusa, don't get the big Taiwan big fried chicken.
It was horrible.
It's like just a piece of shitty batter covered in salt.
Very overrated.
Horrible.
And like chicken shouldn't come in this shape.
No.
So one thing about the behind the scenes of this one, we had left Asakusa already, and we had gotten, what's the next place we're supposed to go to?
We're on our way to Ueno.
Yeah, and we got about halfway, and
Wasn't halfway
to Ueno. No,
well, we got a fair chunk of the way, and then I decided that money thing, giving Pete the money, that was a last minute addition. I was like, wait a minute, Pete, the stuff we just filmed in Asakusa was a bit rubbish.
Yeah,
big fried chicken and a bit of you wafting smoke. So I was like, every place, I'll give you some money. Let's see what you can buy.
So we actually, truth be told, we walked the entire path, but we did take a taxi back to Asakusa because of daylight, and then we just walked to Ueno again. We actually walked further. So yeah, we only had to double back so that we could add this element.
Pocket money.
So next we're in Ueno. I think this is probably might be my favourite bit of the video actually. You know, I always get it wrong. I always say Ame Yokocho.
The fastest train.
And only recently I realised it's Ameya Yokocho.
Wow. But nobody said. Oh, you're right. No, you're right. Ameya
Candy Market.
The queso.
Yeah, Ame means candy, Yokocho like market, right? But, you know, Ame Yokocho, really nice place. I was there 2 weeks ago. Very, very busy. Couldn't move. Don't know if I like it now. In the upcoming moment, we went to like a little whiskey shop, whiskey and yakitori.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, really cool. Loved it. And I was like, oh, take my friend there. And we went there and it was just like 100 foreigners. So I think we might have we might have made it so popular that it might be difficult to go to now.
We did?
But good for them.
Is the
I'm glad we brought them.
Either way,
I know a bar that does whiskey on the street.
On the street?
Drink whiskey right here, right now.
Yeah, I guess my heart's telling me I could really go for whiskey on the street if you know a place. I've got 2,000 yen.
Yeah, we got a pretty good deal too.
But I love this little shop.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so cool because like these sort of places don't really exist in Japan where you can like drink outside during the day, right?
Yeah.
And like this place, you can, and it's a very rare thing. What the heck is that?
That,
a mega highball.
Is a mega highball.
For a mega man.
Bigger than my head.
Bigger than Connor's ego.
That's
bigger than Connor's ego.
Yeah,
so
well,
big.
it's my 2,000 yen, and you won't shame me on how I spend it. Kampai.
Yeah, exactly.
Kampai.
It would be a Pete video without him smashing my $2,000 lens at his glass.
There's a GoPro.
How much does Pete owe you in lens damage? An awful.
One thing I'll say about Ame Akihabara, actually pretty close, but there's like nothing in the middle. It's just like these really
you can walk from Ueno to Akihabara quite easily.
Office streets of nothingness.
This is Pete's favourite street.
I like this.
We're walking through this like crappy street, and Pete's like, I love this street. It's so atmospheric. It's like, look at it.
It's like
on a scale of 1 to shite street.
It looks like my neighborhood.
You like it?
It's one for the Pete colouring book, isn't it?
Yeah, that's game pads and crayons.
This is actually one of my favorite parts of living in Tokyo.
We met a viewer here who had just bought. He was like stun locked into silence.
The fact
remember?
that I can go from like the easiest part of Ueno and then walk to Akihabara.
Are you Pete PremierTwo?
No, he didn't know that. Actually, we met like 5 or 6 people.
We met a lot of folks, and Akihabara.
And they were always like, yo, well, they know Chris, and they go, it's, hey, it's how's it going?
Premi.
They would try to I'm supposed to help them. It's me, Pete.
Full of whiskey and
but the guy was buying Gundam stuff, and he was very cool.
Oh, look at that handsome young man.
It's got everything you need: video games, game centers, burgers, ramen. Done.
Such an American tourist.
Burgers. You are, but I am not.
You're not tempted to go in?
I think I'm tempted to apply.
Yeah,
Who wouldn't want to spend eat a pancake with me? Dressed as a maid. I feel like I've got an opportunity
That's
here.
what Photoshop was made for.
Oh, God. I love this. Yeah.
Pete was in his element, though, in Akihabara. No doubt about it.
Yeah, it was a fun place, man. And this used to be a really great place to visit, but now it's not anymore.
Akihabara?
It's really quite changed there since tourists started finding it, but about 15, 16 years ago, it had way less toys and dolls, and it was all just collectible. Like
back in my day, it was the greatest shop.
It's a good shop.
It's
still worth
it's
visiting.
very.
Although I was here 2 weeks ago and they weren't selling Game Boys. I couldn't find any.
See?
That was my favourite thing to find
And
here.
it's a little bit overpriced now.
I mean, somebody said, the truth says, started finding it. You mean since YouTube has put it in every video? We're part of the problem, Pete. We helped promote Super Potato, and now we pay the price. I still would recommend Super Potato.
I think you should go see it, but like
I took my friend there, and they were mind blown to see things that you don't,
of course,
normally get to see. Right?
Yeah, and it has still that charm. And the fifth floor is the arcade, and then you have the really old games, and then it's like PlayStation 1 and 2 style. But it's just totally different than it used to be. They've started to cater
something
towards
memorable, something that
something a bit more iconic than a boring keychain.
I found the perfect gift. There's only one problem.
See, like this would never have been
sale.
Mario underwear, not for sale.
This place, or all these like
I found him.
toys.
The worst Pokemon ever made.
Oh my god!
I hate this
Mr.
Pokemon.
Mime.
Poor old Mr. Mime.
Well, I hate him because when I play Pokemon, everyone says that we look the same, and I fucking hate it.
Same forehead.
I hate you. I hate all of you.
The area surrounding Tokyo Station feels like modern-day Tokyo.
So what's interesting in Tokyo, like the different kind of districts are so different. So we start with Akihabara, traditional old.
We started in Asakusa.
Sorry, Asakusa.
Yeah.
Traditional old district around the Sensoji Temple, really nice. And then you've got like, Akihabara, high-tech electronics. And then you got here, and it's sort of cold and corporate.
Yeah,
Probably a cool place to work. And I used to go through Tokyo Station like every week when I was going to Sendai, right? And I'll be there like tomorrow to go up to North Japan.
But
such a different vibe.
Yeah.
I think this is what a lot of people kind of think futuristic Tokyo looks like, you know.
I wish that when you go to Tokyo Station, which is
dominated by
not fun at all,
Japan.
like in the
Even
actual
if it's just several
underground,
blocks away from the
you don't get to
colourful
see this
chaos
awesome
of
station
Akihabara.
outside,
The
which
quiet
is really
streets
quite
full of
beautiful.
sterile and
But
buggers.
oh no, it's gone. It's a Nakikin capsule tower.
Where is that?
Well, it was there, where the mouse is. Here used to be the coolest building.
Well, I was in that video too.
Yeah, you were.
I had to be the cameraman.
But there's a hole in my heart left where the Nakigan capsule tower was. Just 1 year ago, I was stood here in front of one of my favourite.
Look who took that shot. I did.
In Japan.
No, it was Alex Shapiro.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a different one.
And now it's gone. In fact, the last video I did with Pete
What was Julian,
us coming
actually?
here to watch it being
that was a good time.
Now it's gone, and soon there'll be just a bland, generic, boring building.
I had a debate with someone. I had a journalist about this. He was like, Tokyo's all about change. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm all for change and, you know, fucking building the building. But when you destroy an amazing, iconic, unique building and replace it with a generic fucking tower that looks like anywhere else in Tokyo, you've lost something. It's sad. I don't actually know what is there now. I think it's just a generic apartment block or something.
I think that we're in agreement on this one.
And he was like, oh, it's all about change. Tokyo's about the essence of Tokyo.
Some people say, you know, they didn't like it, but
in Japan, they don't have like in the UK, we have like grade listed status where certain buildings, you have to keep them. You can't bulldoze them.
Just because of their historical
Just because of historic value. Yeah. You have to appreciate some things have historic value. And it's gone. It's going to be a shit building like everywhere else in Tokyo. And it's lost a beautiful, beautiful building.
Well, I think
admittedly, with an awful lot of asbestos in it.
Don't want to come match ever again. Just bitter memories.
But whether it was ugly or not is irrelevant. At least it was unique.
What better way to celebrate the demise of Nakagin Tower
poor Nakagin.
than to ruin our diet with some fried potato, Caesar salad, fried chicken, and of course, the lemon sour. A common drink in Japan. You got the apple sour. Kanpai. What do you think about the sour drinks? Tanaka-gin.
It's pretty cool. We're down the most cyberpunk-looking alleyway.
Not enough people get to go to Shinmachi.
I've never eaten anywhere around this area.
It's kind of degenerate
even though it's
now,
like
though.
December, it's pretty cold outside. It's a really good
unique.
atmosphere, really good vibe.
It's very unique. I don't know if I would go there for an evening dinner, like if you want to have a nightlife experience, especially because, like you'd mentioned earlier, that is a handsome man right there. I didn't even see. It's like, where's Waldo? There's a Badiato though, but like it's not that common to have outdoor seating in the streets like this. Maybe you have that place under Shibuya, or Fukuoka, but like this might be the only place in central Tokyo that I can think of.
There's a street in Asakusa that you could do it, but it's not really in Shinjuku or Shibuya, you know. This is a very rare street.
Oh, these are the guys who also Premier Hood me.
Look at that. While we're here at Tokyo Tower, we've met some nice viewers.
Streaming right now.
You got the Twitch streamer.
Yeah, we got the other guy.
The Twitch
streamer.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
The Twitch streamer.
And And did he just shoo me out of the picture? I'm pretty sure I'm doing this. And like,
oh man,
of the
wait,
nice viewers.
So he was like, "Get out of the way." Watch. He's a nice guy though. And I saw him.
You got the Twitch streamer.
Oh, he's just pointing at me.
We met like 50 people on this walk, so it felt fitting that we had to fit at least some folks in, right?
Do you remember their argument that they had?
No.
It was great. The long-haired guy was like, dude, I told you we should have come out here tonight because you were like, let's stay home and do nothing. And we're out here. We got to meet Chris Broad and his friend. And I was like, okay. And he was like, no, dude, he's like, you didn't want to go. There was like a nice 10-minute argument about those two guys were.
Of the 20+ people
he was like, I knew this would be great. I knew it.
That was the best.
That was my favorite because you were setting up a shot by ducking down. You had like.
Yeah, I was on the floor trying to get a shot of Tokyo Tower's reflection. And one of the guys went to Pete, sorry, do you know Chris Broad? And he was like,
where's Chris Broad?
And he was like, he's right here, bro. And he was like, what do you mean?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because they recognized me, but they didn't know that they didn't know my name. They're like, you're the guy who knows Chris. I'm like, you mean him?
Presumably they recognize you from the Hokkaido video or something.
Presumably.
And they're like, do you know Chris Broad?
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, he's literally just straight.
Right
I was like, hello. And then we got spotted literally straight away.
I watched your
again.
video for
Yeah, no, you're in the video. Yeah.
Those guys are cool.
Well, that was ridiculous.
That was cool.
Well, I'm talking about getting spotted, we got spotted again.
Yep.
It's always
is
about
like
things
Roppongi
lighting up
area.
a bit in Tokyo.
Like
and Tokyo
Ichome,
feels
no?
like it's connected
It's right
to the
next to
world
it, yeah.
once again,
Yeah,
right?
Really, yeah.
And
For the last
I used
2
to teach
years,
over
it's
there
just
as a
been
private lesson
disconnected and it's not been
back in
fun,
the day. So I
to meet
recognize
folks
this little
around the world,
neighborhood.
business.
You're right. A lot of that stuff was just us walking and talking. Not a lot to do other than just, so what's going on with your life? Not much. How about you? And then we'd finally get to like some interesting places here and there.
It's true, yeah. Blow Roppongi Dragon.
The Blow Roppongi Dragon. And it's got written here.
It's a poker place, right?
Do you know how to blow, Pete?
I know how to blow.
I was just saying, so Japan doesn't, you can't have a casino in Japan that has real money lost or whatever. I love the way they call it Blow Casino. That's such a good name.
Blow your money.
What the f*** were they thinking?
They weren't.
Money at a casino, but I don't know.
Exactly. That's a really weird image. It's like how to lose casino, honestly.
And we met one of your
in the street,
fans.
No. He's only my fan because he liked my jacket.
He's enamoured by Pete's dodgy purchases. Oh dear.
He was really nice.
What do you think of Pete's stuff that he's bought, Aki?
Mate, I can't lie. I gotta go with a Mr. Mime.
Yeah.
But I am loving that jacket. I'm absolutely
Absolute
loving that jacket.
Don't steal his jacket,
That was
Ego.
my choice. I told you that boss jacket.
That was most of our debates on the streets.
Is that
Found this at a vintage store.
Oh my days.
What was that? A vintage
I was
store?
just proud that I finally got. Well, I think
Wait.
right here. I like this little
Handshake on
joke.
that one. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
It's the only use I got out of it.
A boss jacket for a boss man.
It was our COVID social distancing handshake.
We didn't really do much in Shibuya though. We just sort of arrived there and died.
I think we met Ian.
We met Ian, we did, yeah.
And we went to Hobgoblin.
There we go.
I feel like it was the only place that was. It should be.
Well done, Pete. We made
Well
it.
done, my friend.
Did it.
So I think Ian's filming this.
Ian is filming this. He came to meet us, yeah.
Oh my god.
Number 2, we did 30,000 steps. Easy.
Dang.
And number 3, we burnt off a measly 1,500 calories, which doesn't even cover the big fried chicken and Kit Kats we ate on the way.
That is
today.
disappointing.
So, yeah, it's depressing.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun, and I hadn't moved that much in my entire life. So thank you for bringing me.
Well done, and well done to all our little characters. Thank you to everybody who said hello to us. Some of those who feature in the video. Thank you, Eki. Although I wasn't happy about Eki propping up his ego with his jacket. What have you done, Eki?
I loved it. It was good fun.
It's a great boss
it's been
jacket.
really fun.
And then
Like, I
Yuki,
highly recommend
little BTS on that is Yuki washed it, and because it was a really nice logo, and she washed it and it stripped about half of it off.
Oh no.
So it's still there, but now it's all like faded in blue in different places.
Oh, no.
So unfortunate. It's a reversible jacket though. I still have it.
It never stops being intense. I think when you come here, you feel a mixture of emotions.
Oh, that felt horrible.
This video's done. Let's finish this.
There's a big behind the scenes video on Patreon of this video actually.
That's a great. See, we had a lot of fun.
Join the Abroad Japan Patreon. Get exclusive behind the scenes content and outtakes and bloopers. Good stuff. But that was a fun video. I must say, I much prefer the Hokkaido one.
Well, I mean,
they're
very
much more
different.
epic.
But that's what makes that video so much fun, though, is that it was not an epic thing. It was just two lads having fun.
People loved it. People loved it, and that's the main thing. And I got a lot of people saying, do that everywhere. Go to more cities. And I've been trying to convince Pete to go.
Yeah, he was. He was trying to convince me to go.
Spent 2 years trying to convince Pete to do another one in Osaka, and he's like, I'm too busy now.
I'm not too busy. I'm going to do another one. You know.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming soon. I'm seeing that.
He's too
realize
cool. He's too cool and popular now.
That I only burned 1,500 calories, and I don't want to do it again. No.
Yeah, I mean, if we did another one, it might be Osaka, but then I don't know Osaka as well as Tokyo. And I think what made this video good is Pete and I know Tokyo well, and we had our own talking points that we could bring to our own stories and anecdotes.
That's true, it's true.
And Osaka, it'd be like, that's where I got drunk that time I came here. That's where, so I don't know if it would necessarily
maybe,
work.
But you know what? There's a lot more lines in Tokyo than the
but what would you call it? I try walking across Tokyo again. I'm down to do Tokyo.
What if it was like you just changed it to I walked the Yamanote line or something like that? I mean, I'm just saying. Okay, well, you're the
Chris,
title
you've
master.
created a monster. What have you done? I know, right? I thought Pete finished teaching, we'd do laser videos together, and all that's happened is he's just streams now.
Oh my God, the absolute insanity of this man.
People just enjoy seeing you both banter together. I agree, and I honestly, doing it again in Tokyo is an option because we only covered half of Tokyo. We didn't cover the other half. We didn't do like Shinjuku and like that. So yeah, I'm open-minded to doing something like that again. We'll work it out.
So wait, how about this? What happens to all the footage that doesn't make it into the video? Do you keep it, or does it go straight to the bin?
It goes on Patreon.
No, I mean like all of the footage.
Like we edit a lot of the because there's quite a lot of outtakes in that.
Yeah,
and we put it into like a 20-minute Patreon video where we got outtakes, bloopers, deleted scenes, and a bit of commentary. This is why you should join the Abroad in Japan Patreon, the most poorly marketed Patreon in the world.
Except for mine.
Even though we put a lot of effort into it, we do a bad job marketing it, but it's quite good. But we have one more video in our arsenal.
All right, here
and
we
it's
go.
back to the snowy, wintry cold.
I got some real thoughts on this one. I'm not happy about it.
So lots of behind the scenes commentary on this one.
Oh yeah.
Number one, this was supposed to be 2 videos. The day we went to Ginzan and then the day we went to my old apartment. And then I realised that it didn't really work as 2 videos because we had a really strong video, which is you and me chained together in the beautiful Ginzan. And then it was going to be a bigger video in Sakuta. And then we cut a lot out of the second video.
A lot.
Of Pete and I like making a puppet or something.
We had to make a mascot.
We had to make a mascot.
And you know, truthfully, like here, my memory. Let's see how it starts first.
God.
Let's just see.
This is where I proposed to my wife.
That's true.
Ridiculous.
Could we have fun one time? What?
I really love this video. It was amazing.
What the are you doing to me? Every single time my ass is freezing and wet.
Bring fucking pants. They're good.
Oh my, you didn't even tell me what the plan was this time.
I need to go to the toilet before
Oh, great. So, my God, like on this one, Connor almost dead. I almost died. So this one was tough because he was very cagey about what we were going to be doing. Honestly, they hadn't planned this one yet. I showed up and it looked like I had rescued people who had been held like captive for 7 years. They all looked haggard, exhausted. They had 1,000-yard stares. There was this idea, because I went to the planning period. He was like, 28 days on the road, 28 videos, a video a day. I've got a mobile, sweet team of editors who are going to crank them out, and they're never going to sacrifice in quality. Yeah, I had that from day 3. Let me tell you something. I showed up, and Paul was like, mate, leaving tomorrow? And I was like, all right. And then Charlotte was like, hi, Pete. I'm leaving as soon as I can. I'm done with this. I was like, okay. I was like, is anybody having fun? Ian? And he was like, off. It's like, that was all. It was everybody was leaving or tired or done at the end.
Because it was Christmas. Paul was going home and Charlotte had to get ready for our trip to Canada.
Right. So luckily I could step in. And,
so Pete came up for 4 days. We filmed for 2. We made a massive... This is the longest episode of Journey Across Japan Non-Stop North. 40 minutes of wonder and glamour.
So glad.
And you were at the forefront of it all. And also, you got the one day it fucking snowed finally.
Yeah,
the whole trip I'm like, tomorrow, guys, it'll be the snowiest place in Japan. And it's just the sun, and it was shit.
Yeah.
You got the day of epicness. This episode is definitely one of the top 3 episodes from the whole series. And there's 17 videos,
Today,
you know.
we are going to go meet.
I'd place this easily in the top 3.
Look at that. There's a follower update.
God.
We've grown since then.
Yeah.
We're still growing.
Thanks to Journey Across Japan. The 5 episodes you appeared in.
So we're still getting there, little by little. But yeah, it's top 3 for me too. Worst days of my life.
Something I haven't done yet.
So,
I do love that car.
lovely car. Natsuki's looking after it. I think he's ruined it now, so that's good.
I like the upholstery.
But this challenge, you know, Pete and I were chained together for the day, and Ian thought this up.
Yes, he did. Well, the original one was that it was just, it was not as fun. We felt the random one was I speak in rhyming couplets the whole day.
Oh my God, it'll give me a headache.
I'm kind of like
You were for it.
No.
Yes, Ian had to talk you off that one.
I like the chain one.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I didn't like the chain one, but I realised it was a necessary evil.
Yeah, I think rhyming, speaking in rhyme would be pretty horrible. Yeah,
but I've been really looking forward to this location. Ginzan is somewhere I've visited 3 or 4 times. Extremely remote, beautiful hot spring town, and you know it's an amazing place. And you got one of the best locations in the whole series.
Little BTS. That bag was a gift from Connor for my birthday.
Oh, and I gave you the gift of friendship and adventure. I gave you a memory that'll last a lifetime.
He gave me this.
You got to stay in Chateau. What was it called?
Chateau de Rat or whatever.
Chris, I really thought in this series you were going to give the car to the guy in your apartment. Can you imagine? Mr. Beast.
Yeah, here you go.
No, I gave it to Natsuki, but I should have given it to the lovely guy in the apartment. Yes, here he comes.
Look at it.
The people of Yamagata aren't ready for this.
Finally,
He's tossed off his
after all
bag.
these years of traveling, I've met you
How you
in
doing,
the
man?
frozen north once again.
I'm so standing here 25 minutes.
That's great, though.
How was your journey?
It was amazing. And you know what's sad is right when I left Tokyo, the absolute best weather we've ever had in 10 years of me living there.
And then you wake up and it looks like this.
Glad I got the star treatment. So,
You bring the weather with you, Pete. Anyway, let's wrap this up.
this is it, huh?
I want to get out.
I've never got to do this before.
No.
So what do? I twist them?
You twist it, and I'll catch it, and then you read it.
And then I chuck it at Ian.
That's it?
Yep. So you guys are sent in 7,000 challenges. Yeah.
This is the one challenge Ian rigged in his favour.
This is from Ian. Spend the day chained to your guest. Feel free to remove while driving. Safety first.
There it is, the Ian wink.
So you had no idea this was happening, right?
No.
Ian warned me ahead of time, but you had no idea.
This is so stupid.
This is
The best bit is getting into the car in a minute.
Come on, mate. We're in this thing
See,
together.
this is look, that is exactly what I'm talking about. He's done. Did you? I want to see that again, but in thrilling slow motion of you looking. I don't want subtitles. I can read your face just fine without it. Thank you. I've never seen somebody so objectively disappointed to be a part of something.
Fun stuff.
He's dead inside. Look at him.
I've been travelling for like a month. I'd filmed like 20 videos across 6 prefectures and 1,000 kilometres. Being chained to you is not my idea of a fun conclusion. Look,
Dragging him.
I mean, fucking hell.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
I didn't deserve this.
I didn't either.
Nobody in the comment, none of you guys would want this. Nobody would want this.
You're acting like I was all for it. Like this is the best day of my life.
Son with dad.
Hurry up, I'm freezing. Look at this upholstery.
And again, very cold. My feet were soaked. I just wanted to get in the car, and we couldn't. And we on the wrong fucking hand, right?
This fucking hurts so bad.
Oh, it's like a Twister or something. Oh my god! What a spectacle! Fucking
what a disaster! Oh, and then he's like, okay, all right, here you go.
Then we got like the bloody snow everywhere.
Whoa! What the fuck was that?
That pig jump scared everyone, by the way.
Oh god! Well, you faked by saying, "Look over there for a minute," and then
I got Charlotte, Joey, and you with the pig. That is Connor's greatest contribution.
It was the worst contribution. But we had there was something to the effect of like we couldn't decide on exactly where to go, what to start, or what we were doing. So we ended up milling about this station for quite a while.
And then you got to have the pig show, the freak show. What I love about the K car actually Basically, it's really easy to film in because it's so small. You put the camera on the dashboard and it's just perfect for filming him in a way that cars often aren't.
Somebody had asked what was some of your other favorite episodes of this particular journey.
I'd say getting the car. This is the first episode with Natsuki.
That's fake almost.
It's crazy. We went in some store and just bought it. And
what is this? What do you...
This is day one.
No, how is this being shot?
From another car on the side of the road. Like we're going down a highway and Paul's filming out the window.
Nice shot, Paul.
I really like the one with the ramen, when Natsuki has some spicy ramen and died. The camping trip was fun.
That was not fun. There's no way you can convince me that was fun.
So much fun.
Two of you nearly died.
We should go camping. Do you want to come on the next camping trip?
Absolutely not.
Let's go camping.
No, I'm good.
Did Ericios ever pay you back for the window? He did not.
No.
He chipped my window with his boot.
Well, I changed it.
That's a good joke about how to do Yuki fall in love.
Hot waters and warm hearts and all these things, and I took her outside, and as the lamps came on,
what is that?
That is so good.
I don't think I've ever seen this.
I said,
what the fuck?
Please
look at that's Paul's greatest work.
I've never seen that.
That's Paul's greatest work ever.
Please be. I mean, she'd already left to a gift shop.
Has she seen that?
Yuki,
you gotta show Yuki
that. All these things, and I took her outside, and as the lamps came on these beautiful streets, and they have these things.
So a little BTS. This is my mating dance.
Oh my god, I've never seen that.
I need Paul to send me that GIF.
That's amazing.
We need to make that an alert or something. But like, you can tell, I never normally wear these shoes. You know where we got this GIF from? Did this dance?
No.
That was from our epic RV stream with Connor, where these are bowling shoes that we did the bowling event. And that's a great picture of Yuki. Other little behind the scenes, this picture of my wife was taken about 20 minutes after she had $4,000 stolen from her. And our good friend, Mr. Nick Chambers, he took a picture of Yuki and I as she was like really depressed, as we were at a pub called the Nag's Head in what's it called? Charon's Cross?
Charing Cross.
That's the one. So great picture of her on her worst moment and me in my best moment.
This is such a
crisscross.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I said, will you please be, I mean, she'd already left to a gift shop, so I had to
do it all over
so
again.
good. I mean, I have seen that, obviously. I just didn't remember it.
Oh, so wait, that's me holding the 360 cam, right?
When it's snowing, we can do drone shots, so we use a 360 camera to get some like cool exposition shots showing where we are, what we're doing, kind of thing.
Right.
And it's cool. It hides the pole. The 360 camera's pretty trippy.
Most of the striking inns that line the streets are from the Taisho era.
This was very lucky. So I didn't know that I had like the star-crossed luck of like getting the best snow, the coldest, like this beautiful shots that I didn't know that you guys really not had.
I mean, we had no snow the whole trip. Every episode, I'm like, it's going to be so snowy tomorrow, guys. And wake up and it'll be like the sun and nothing.
Yeah.
And so the night before, no snow. Woke up next morning, car's gone under a pile of snow.
It was great for visuals.
Yeah, it was, honestly. It's pretty scary. This is the one day you don't want to be chained to someone because it's extremely slippery, extremely snowy, and Ian was very irresponsible.
The worst possible.
And again, I'd like to point out, I was not told the plan for this video. I didn't know we were going to Ginzan. I knew nothing.
What did you think we were doing?
I don't think you guys knew what you were doing yet. And so when I showed up, I'd just gotten back from the trip in London. And France.
Robbery trip.
The robbery trip.
Right.
And within 3 or 4 days, I'm on a train over here, and like I go to that station I never heard of, and now I knew things were really bad when you showed up in Wellingtons and a heavy coat, and I was like, we're gonna be outside. I know it. And I was like, I'm gonna get so screwed. I don't like. Look at
the
this.
most stunning hot spring towns in all of Japan. And this is really difficult.
Yeah, because you try to get it right the first take. Do I have to stand here for 17 minutes as you try to talk about Ginza?
Trying to educate
this
people.
This is true.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you know what? That's a lot of accumulation of this snow because Chris can't get his lines right.
It's hard when you're chained to a crazy Kansan man.
I have to just sit there out of frame like an idiot as he says 2 sentences.
I like how they haven't cleaned up the snow though. Who wants to see what's on the lunch menu?
I would like to know.
This was a really stressful meal because the lunch menu had nothing on it.
We had biscuits.
I love that. Why have they put lunch on it and there's nothing? Why have they done that?
It's coming soon. It's
genuinely.
Yeah, because we were pretty hungry and we hadn't eaten, and it took a while to get here and get set up.
What an absolute tease.
Yeah. And
you want lunch, do you? Well, how about fuck off?
Maybe under certain moonlight conditions it appears, but like we couldn't see anything.
What did the restaurant think about the chain? The restaurant, they were quite bemused by it. They found it quite funny, actually. They could tell something weird was going on, but they never addressed it.
They're like, it's 2024.
You drink your Slavic coffee and fuck off.
This is not. This is quite good.
And then I realised I couldn't take my coat off.
Yeah, I know. You're just.
I genuinely didn't. I didn't think about it.
Oh my god!
Because you're not fucking normally chained to someone in real life.
And I'm trying to drink.
It's so hot.
Okay. Oh shit!
Yes.
That was a genuine reaction.
Of course not.
It's like an oven in here now.
And so
look, I had to sit with my coat over my fucking shoulder.
It's like you're hiding a gun or something in there.
We really committed to this nightmare.
It was bad. And then so the Slavic Paul got some sort of drink that had an ice cream or something, and he dropped it in there, but it like fell from like his saucer, and his coffee exploded all over the table. And he goes, "Oh fuck, there goes my lunch." Oh, fuck it. And then
I appear to have dropped my ice cream into the fucking coffee.
And so he made a mess.
Not a lot of people know that.
And I tried to clean it, and you recoiled, so we couldn't even do that right.
Sometimes we got to drop the ice cream.
So the lady kindly delivered.
Oh, this is funny. The scones.
All the scones in Yamagata. I was like, brilliant, where's the knife? And she was like, we don't use knives here.
Yeah, that was really weird.
She said, like, share it with your hands, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
We don't use knives.
So I guess I'll do my...
Well,
yeah, that was really weird. They were like, just tear the scone with your hand.
Which is uncomfortable when you are chained to someone.
I must say, the scones were good, but like, you need clotted cream for them. I don't know if you had clotted cream.
I've heard it need
it's kind of like a rich, sweet, buttery goodness, and they just provide us with jam, but you need the clotted cream, otherwise it's quite dry. So the scones were good, but they were missing that. So it wasn't as delicious as it should have been.
Yeah, clotted cream is such a British term.
Oh, well, that's quite nice.
The savagery, no knives, says Mr. Gore. Indeed, Mr. Gore.
Yeah, come here. Oh, that's
you'll go far.
Look at that.
I
say the same things. At least you know it's not scripted. I say that all the time.
We break them into even smaller pieces. And
dip it.
Yeah, like a croissant.
Oh.
I'll let you go first.
That's a joke, by the way.
It's either too cold or too hot.
That's good. Pretty good, man.
I'll let you go first and not get the reaction I was hoping for.
Everything's shared these days.
Oh, okay. Well, remember
All right, now hold on a minute.
It's a cool twist of fate that you get to come here to Ginzan, though, right? Like, this wasn't really
such a romantic stroll.
I always planned to come to Ginzan on this trip, but I didn't know who the guest was going to be. But Pete was off busy having fun in the UK.
Yeah, fun in the UK.
Getting pickpocketed and robbed.
Having fun.
You get to come back just in time to the town where you proposed to your beloved.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, we genuinely didn't know, when we were organising guests on Journey Across Japan, we didn't know who was going to be where or whatever. And it was a cool twist of fate that you were there to come to Ginzan, which you hadn't been to in 4 or 5 years or whatever.
A cruel twist of fate or a cool twist of fate?
A cool twist of fate.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I had a different interpretation.
Oh.
No, it was. I'm glad that I hadn't been back there since I'd proposed, and I had proposed to my wife. And it's really kind of neat, I think, is the ring I had was bought by my Papa Pete, which is my mom's dad.
Right.
So that's who I'm named after. And he had saved up his entire months and months post-war, and he bought a very small diamond. It was what we could afford back then. They passed it down to me, and I gave it to Yuki. And she, even though the diamond was really not that impressive, it was the thought behind. I got the band resized for her finger.
Oh, that's nice.
She really liked it. So Papa Pete, he'd be proud.
And then it got stolen in London.
That one we still have the ring. So luckily, we still got
that's nice,
that.
Though. Why did you choose to propose in Ginzan?
I thought I'd been kicking around the idea for a while, and 8 years. No, I'm kidding.
Kicking around.
I was because there's the place of chaining yourself to something. I'm now married.
It's a metaphor.
So it's a metaphor.
The chain is a metaphor on this trip for your.
I felt like I might as well secure that, and so it was cool. But I thought, and we had this cool room where we had like our own private onsen on the top floor of this place that overlooked the snowy, and it was like the exact same weather, the exact same everything. So it was really cool. So yeah,
beautiful. Ginzan is really nice. I don't know if I'd recommend necessarily staying there though. I've stayed there once, and the food was really good, but the hot spring was so hot, neither Charlotte nor I could step in it.
Oh really?
And I've never had that before.
I quite liked it.
I mean, well, you probably weren't at the place we were staying.
Yeah.
But we could not physically get into the water.
Wow.
It must have been 50 plus degrees. It was pain. So I don't know if I'd stay there again, but I highly recommend worth a day trip and then maybe stay nearby in Tendo or somewhere nearby.
So one more thing about that, though, like I'd proposed, we'd stayed in like this, this awesome onsen. We had rejuvenated with like the onsen's healing powers. And then the next day, our scheduled train back to Tokyo was like 6 p.m. and everything in the town was closed, like everything. So we were at the station waiting and it was like noon and we were like, oh, there's nothing to do here. We thought there'd be something open. And so we said, can we change the ticket to like the 12:30 train? And they were like, you can, but there's no seats. So we had to stand on the Shinkansen all the way back.
I've done that one time. Yeah.
Any healing that the onsen provided was undone immediately as we stood for 4 hours as we, right there.
With this snow swirling around our face and being in such close proximity to another person.
Right.
This is where I proposed to my wife. I got down on one knee. I looked her right in the eye. And would you kindly fuck off? I'm freezing. I want to go home. That's a rude. I didn't say that to her. I married her.
That's the line of the episode right there.
That is.
Would you kindly fuck off?
The smell of sulphur, the gushing of the hot springs, and so we've got a foot bath here, and we're going to enjoy it right now.
This is a tough one.
My God, what an absolute spectacle. When you're chained up, even the simplest of tasks descends into complete chaos.
Please do not.
Yeah, that goes right.
Remember when we sat in the snow eating ramen? And how much we hated it afterwards? Well, that's a lot like that. Fuck off, it's cold. If I wasn't chained to Chris, this might be a very memorable and very pleasant moment. Try it.
I'm all right.
You've got to be joking me. Take off your wellies.
I'm not going in now.
Oh my God, this is so classic. Dickens. You have to help me put these things back on, as they're getting snowed into.
Unbelievable.
Try it.
Yes, it feels really good. This is like the best feeling I've had.
See.
I was smart though. I put my shoes on the sides. They got no snow in, whereas Pete just left his shoes out.
I didn't know it'd take you 30 minutes to convince you to get in there.
Only initially.
There's the caffable one.
Story of this episode.
So romantic.
It's quite nice.
It's very nice.
Oh, I kind of want my whole body.
I
want my whole body in a hot spring
now. Let's remove that first, please.
I stayed here one time with Charlotte, or we stayed at your plants over there. Notice we're the only two
I like this shot. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a very nice shot. I did an Instagram story of Ginzan. Check it out on Instagram. And I had a lovely montage of Ginzan and then just this shot of us looking disheveled in the snow at the end.
The happiest couple I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And this is also weird because Paul's camera, when he took this, he has this viewfinder that was plugged in and it got wet and it melted and it broke his screen.
Really?
Yeah, I think. That's
I remember he had a lot of camera trouble,
at the end there. So
it was a lot. This is Paul's last day.
Yeah.
And he was really thrown in the ringer for this.
Drive to nearby Yamagata City.
Oh man.
Another thing that
was so much fun filming in the winter though with the snow.
Trying to even get back. Do you remember that when we were waiting for the bus and none of the buses would take us, and they would these groups would come in, these other tourists, and be like, "You can't take our bus. You can't take our bus." I was like, "Please, we're dying of freezing."
They were like a Chinese tour group, and the Chinese tour guide wouldn't let us on the bus. They were like, "All our tour must go on the bus first," even though we'd queued longer than them. And then you got really angry.
I did not get angry. I think we were all kind of like, "Can we please just join?"
We've waited. Can we get on the? And luckily, the bus driver let us on.
Yeah,
he was sorry about this, because he was like, it was completely wrong,
But we had to wait for about
those
40
big
minutes.
Chinese tour groups. They have 50 people on, and they're ruthless. They have no mercy.
We're in Yamagata City, guys, and the team have gone off to their nice, wonderful hotel. And
this is also very true. They had a very nice hotel with like a banging breakfast.
Yeah, I was a bit annoyed really because we put up the team in the nicest hotel on the trip.
And we got Casa de Yoshi.
And we went to their hotel rooms. It was really nice and stuff. And then we went to ours, Casa de Yoshi, and it was nice.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit creepy.
The thing that would be better is if we had more people or like a game night, but we were so tired.
And also, what also the scary thing about Casa de Yoshi is it was literally down this alleyway.
We couldn't even find it, remember?
We couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And then Matt was like, Casa de Yoshi is down the alleyway of death.
Yep.
And it was down this creepy ass alleyway right at the back.
Yep. Ian did let me use his bathtub though so I could recover because I was so freezing.
Oh yeah, Casa de Yoshi didn't have a bathtub.
Okay.
It was a really weird interior as well. It was like a grandma's house meets a renovated townhouse meets
It's the worst
nightmare.
feeling that you might have actually chosen
just seemed to be like whatever you want.
Yeah,
Jerry.
the concept was all over the place.
Yeah.
A great idea. Like, we actually met Yoshi the next morning.
Yeah, we did. He was a nice man.
Just a Japanese guy. He must have been late 20s, early 30s. And he was like, wow, foreigner in Yamagata. Why?
That
and we were
Tom and
like,
Jerry's
just stay
wild.
here. It's your Casa de Yoshi.
They have a rotary phone. Like, I haven't seen one of those in ages.
It was very weird. Here's the
your accommodation.
highlight of Casa de Yoshi.
Are you ready?
You know, it's like, we've renovated the townhouse. What do we need? Beds? Should we have some nice beds for our guests? No.
This is so stupid. Look at this. I can't even.
Follow me in, and then there's a little slight incline, and you hit the lights, and ta-da!
Happy birthday.
It's your accommodation for the night.
You said
What were they
weren't
thinking?
camping.
I don't
said
know.
it.
What the fuck were they
Don't compare
thinking?
this to camping like Sea Dog VA did 2
We're
weeks
in a
ago.
tent. I'm curious. Can we just check if we can fit?
How dare you?
I had such bad luck on this episode.
What were they thinking? Honestly.
So you're telling me that tonight we're gonna be.
But we could sleep with our
sleeping
chain
like
on.
this.
Yeah, I like
Like
it.
any issues,
jarring,
right?
though. When I was looking at accommodation around here, it was like,
Unbelievable.
renovated Japanese townhouse with a tent in it.
Yeah, so I was looking for accommodation that was kind of interesting. I found an actual glamping site up a mountain where we would have died because of the weather.
Oh my god.
And then I saw like Casa de Yoshi, and I saw a photo of this place with the tent, and I was like, it's done. It's got to be there.
Do you like
only
this
bedroom?
place?
No.
The only bedroom.
Would you go back?
No.
What do you mean? We're
No.
together.
I like Yoshi. I like what he's trying to
This is for
do.
you, man.
But no,
yeah.
I'd rather
God,
go
of
to a
all the
hotel.
places-
I think it's
Okay,
probably the
that
best
sounds
challenge of the
good.
series,
What's
to be
a
honest.
bouncy
chain?
Is this
Yeah,
soundproof?
of all the challenges
I
we
was gonna
faced,
say,
I think
this
that
is a really
my
cool
favourite.
place.
And like, it
I was
wouldn't
not
have worked
chained
with
to
anyone else, really.
Like,
I think with
seriously,
Connor it would have been a bit
this place
weird.
oozes
With Natsuki,
charm
I would
in a
have
lot
got
of ways
like
that in places-
smoke inhalation
I haven't really had a
problem.
chance to
It had to be someone who's a bit jovial, a bit mental.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
where
good
you come in.
balance.
That's where Pete comes in.
Well, I think this is. You can clearly see this is the end of the episode.
Yeah, so this was supposed to be the end of the episode.
Yep.
It's supposed to
One
end
last
like
cool
here.
thing.
And then I realised the last day there just wasn't enough content to make a good standalone episode.
There was enough, but it wasn't. The quality.
I cut out a lot of stuff. Pete and I had some shit ramen that wasn't very good. It wasn't very fun.
You got ramen. I got curry.
And then we got some Wagyu, and it was
the
disgusting.
worst. It was an A5. Well, it was at a rest stop, and you were like A5 Wagyu. I have to have it. And I was like, I don't think we need that. And you were like, let's get it.
Yeah,
And
because I wanted to try it for
it
the
was
video.
like $23. It was bad.
It was disgusting.
And
Yeah.
also, I don't know. We don't need to watch this last half. But did you keep any of the abandoned place that we went to with Paul?
Oh,
is there any of that or no?
It's in the Patreon behind the scenes.
Okay, so yeah, we did
out now on Patreon.
So yeah, we did another thing where it was like we went to some abandoned silo-looking place. That was another weird spot. Then Paul left, so then we had to drive pretty far to
2 hours.
And so, after a peaceful sleep and
I
quite
love this
literally
bit.
freedom from the chains of yesterday's bloody challenge, we begin our final day
The
of
beast
journey
is
across
awoken.
Japan as we head west towards the Sea of Japan coastline and my former
it's so
hometown of
stupid.
Sakata.
So you just
Tonight,
switched
our
to the
good
bed.
friend
Well, I had to
Freedom
film
from
that in the
chains-
morning. Like, nice little bit of acting here. Put the chain back on. Chris hiding us. Go and act like you're stumbling out from one of your late night drinking binges.
of yesterday's
Like every
bloody
day.
challenge.
So I was like, oh, I know how it
We
was.
begin our final day of journey across Japan as we head west
Yeah,
towards
I'm
the
familiar
Sea of
with
Japan
that
coastline
mentality,
from our former
so-
but our first order of
That's a
business
good
for
shot.
the day
Yeah.
is heading
Cargo
to Natsuki
train.
Salon. the original starting point of the first ever journey.
This was nice though.
Well, guys, I can't believe
this is people often ask, "Are you going to do another series of Journey Across Japan?" Probably not, because it ended so nice. This series ended at the exact start point of the first one, right, in 2018.
So you heard it here, guys.
I do want to do a Journey Across Japan-esque series again, but I just don't want to call it Journey Across Japan. I don't want the song. I just want to do something else. Chris looks so young there.
I think they meant a Journey Across Japan.
I look young here.
You look weathered here. You're like, I've been.
I look a lot better now than I do here, because I was f***ed at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, a lot of people didn't appreciate it because we f***ed up the daily uploads, which obviously weren't daily. They were like every 2 days, and then the second half got to like weeks. But like, it was tough, you know, filming. I think we filmed for about 20 days or so straight, 20 days or so.
I think it's more than that.
Yeah, it's fucking tough, right? Filming every day.
Yeah.
And it was annoying because the series got a lot of heat. People were like, we didn't do every day. Oh, it was this, it was that. And people had expectations rather than let you get on with it. And
you had expectations too. You were hoping to do it, and it must have been frustrating.
Honestly, I look back and I'm pretty happy with the series. Definitely the first 10 days were a lot more carefully planned out than the second half.
Oh, I could tell by the time I arrived. It was all over.
It went really downhill with Joey. Not because of Joey.
Yeah.
But like a lot of things we had wanted to do in Akita, we couldn't. And so
why? Was it just...
It rained really bad and f***ed up a really cool video I had planned. So like when you arrived, I'd had a really bad shoot the day before and I hadn't slept. I had 2 hours sleep.
Oh, look, I'd just been robbed.
And then I had to get chained to you. You were like, oh, I've been robbed of a few pennies.
A few pennies.
And
that's what
like, here I am.
saying.
I'm like dying and I've been chained to the great Pete Macy.
It's very sweet of them though.
Oh, it was great. I didn't know they were going to do this. So it was really nice.
We did it! Let's run through. Oh my gosh.
Driving through.
Oh my god. Jeez.
That was cool.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm shell shocked.
Oh, so Neski did that. You see this popper, right? There's loads of smoke coming out of it.
Oh. I remember this.
Right? So Neski bombed the big fucking popper, and the smoke that comes out of those poppers is disgusting.
Yeah.
And he put it right in my face. There. I inhaled it.
Yeah, you did.
And I felt physically sick for 4 hours.
You talked about it for like the next... You was like, I can still taste this.
I thought I had lung cancer after that. It hit me and I got a headache. I felt sick.
He knew.
It's not sick. It's just like pure... It's like a bonfire in my face.
It's horrible.
I inhaled so much of it. I think I must have gone like... and it went in my mouth and I got like... I felt sick for 4 hours.
I inhaled so much of the popper smoke.
It was disgusting.
Died of carbon monoxide inhalation.
Look at me in the background
so
with my best life.
Oh yeah, great.
Died of carbon monoxide inhalation.
Well, I'm like getting like asbestos poisoning.
I was like, whoa. I was having a good time.
And right there was a scene where Pete and I had a challenge. The challenge of the day was to make a mascot for Natsuki's salon. And you won the competition.
I did.
Your mascot was good.
You had the ideas, but the execution was not. I think I have a picture of that. I'll show you guys later.
We don't show that.
No, I'm going to show it.
And then I got to go back to my old apartment, which is really nice. John let me in. And that was really nice, right? To go back to my old apartment, which I hadn't done in 2023, and I'd left it in 2015. So 8 years since I went, and this is where I started Abroad in Japan.
This very room.
It was really trippy to go back and a little bit moving. And I think about all the cool stuff I got to do there.
Was that the TV you had?
It was, yeah. It was my first Japanese TV, and so it was really moving to go back there. Especially as at this point, I'd written the book. Most of my book is about being here in this place, so I'd spent a lot of my time casting my mind back to here. And interestingly, John was very kind. Before John, somebody else was living there, and through a mutual friend, I was like, "Can I come in and film?" They were like, "No."
Oh wow!
Because they didn't know what Abroad in Japan was or what YouTube was. John had watched Abroad in Japan. He'd got the keys to this place, and then, by the way, the Abroad in Japan guy lived here, and he was like, "What the fuck? Wow!" And it was a really nice moment that John got to.
John was really kind.
Break the fourth wall and live in the apartment and scene and whatnot.
And so right now, I think Ellen and I are outside.
Yeah, so
because there wasn't a lot of
Pete
space.
and Ellen were outside, and Ellen, a good friend of mine, she'd seen the place a lot. Sometimes we'd video call back in the day, like 8, 8, 9, 10 years ago. So she knew the place well, so it was kind of cool for her to see it in
also,
person.
met her the first day I met you. She was at the Royal Bar as well.
Ellen was there the day I met Pete.
Yep.
And was traumatized by it.
I don't look.
So
She sees him still there.
That
she's like,
moment,
oh God.
This is the face Ellen pulled the day Pete was there.
She was mortified,
and she's never stopped since. She's mortified and afraid. Of Pete, as we all are.
To see you again. Hey,
This is good. Yuki and Pete met the time I brought Pete to Sakata.
Yeah.
And Yamagata for the first time.
You got food poisoning.
I got mega food poisoning, but Pete got to hang out with Yuki while I was being physically sick for 3 days in a room.
Best of friends.
Lucky Pete.
Yeah. It was great. He was very kind. He's a very, very great
One
host.
piece or 100 pieces.
Oh my God.
I've seen you so happy on the other side of this camera.
Yeah. Look at
the happiest
that.
I've seen.
It was good, although I have to admit the KFC was a little bit cold when we started tucking into it. Because it arrived like 3 hours before we ate it.
Right there. We debated for hours about all the UK contingent. It was whether Jaffa cakes are a cake or a biscuit. And like people were like legitimately battle lines were drawn.
It's a biscuit.
Listen, I'm not making, I don't care.
It's a biscuit.
There was some very heated discussions. And I was asked to weigh in. And I was like, I don't know. They were like, they took it to court and they said, and then some people were like, it says cake in the name. So there was like tensions were rising.
It's legally a cake for tax reasons.
We've done some incredible things together, but thank you so much
Nobody looks
for joining us
impressed.
on this trip.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone just looks like that. Like I'm the only person.
Everyone looks like they want to kill themselves.
Everybody's. I'm like, good job, buddy.
Look at like Ian. Ian's like, okay, mate, I want to go home.
I'm like, my head's bouncing. I'm having a great time.
I think they all look like they didn't know what to do on camera.
Look at this King Charles II tearing his chicken from the leg as his banquet's being held.
Prince Andrew II.
Look at him. He's just chomping at the bit as his subjects sit here and say, I had a great time, Mr. Broad. He's just, I want to see you eat. Look at you.
The ridiculous buffet table, quite literally creaking under the weight of
the thing.
The length of the table.
So we had this moment where we were, I don't know if you kept it. They went around and Marcus interviewed everybody saying, what was your favorite moment? And everyone just they did have fun, but they were just so tired. They were like,
the bit where we're going home.
It was great.
I believe we're here at the finish line.
And you were like, oh yeah, is this the end where you give the car back? Two things at the banquet of King Broad. We as he was tearing chickens, we disappeared for about an hour. Do you remember that?
Me and you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had to go. You insisted that you know Dave's been good to you. He edited your videos. Why don't you get him a present? And I was like, Dave's all right. So I bought him a PlayStation game.
I bought him a PlayStation 5.
You did. You bought him a PlayStation 5.
So like the two editors, we had like 4 or 5 editors join. We had 2 like editors that were there throughout, Dave and Marcus. We bought Dave a PlayStation 5.
We did.
What did we buy Marcus?
An iPad.
iPads. I bought Marcus an iPad, Dave a PlayStation 5.
And Ian was also there the whole day, but we got
bought Ian
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
A box of chicken. To be fair though, Dave and Marcus, they were up until like 2 a.m. a lot of nights, and this whole series was thanks to them. So yeah, they deserved a PlayStation 5 and an iPad.
And Paul would have got a present, but Paul didn't stay the whole trip. He left a day early. So
at least Paul got to sleep. Paul worked really hard, but at least he got to sleep. Marcus and Dave did not.
Well, there's one more thing that happened. He was like, Pete, come tomorrow to film the epic ending, and I was like, I'm done. I've been here for 4 nights. And then I was like, I want to get home immediately. And you were like, oh, poor old Ian. Making him drive back all by himself. And I was like, it's a 9-hour drive.
You can't let Ian drive home alone.
And I was like, yes, I can. I was like, but he's going to be fine. And Ian doesn't want to be near me for another 9 hours.
Poor old Ian had to drive from Yamagata to Tokyo, 9-hour drive alone. Pete had to get home.
I was so looking forward to that
What
drive.
a partnership. A team of brothers.
Yeah. So I felt so bad for Ian because we had to you insisted that I spend my next day with him in the car.
Yeah.
So, of course, I was there to help out.
We had a great old time. Chatting about your favourite basketballs or whatever.
Oh, we did. And then what was the thing? We stopped at a place, Ian, for food, and we bought all these omiyage, and then I left them all in the van anyway. So, and then you ate half of them, and then the other half expired. So I didn't even get to give them to my wife. But it was a fun trip back. I got to hear about his view of 21 days. Now that would have been a good recording.
That would have been good.
Yeah. But anyway,
we got to get rid of the car.
Now we're here at the finish line. There's only one thing left to do. Natsuki, how are you?
He looks good there.
Wow.
This car.
This car?
This car's for you.
I don't need it.
You don't need it.
I was like, oh, for f***'s sake.
He said, I don't need it? I never saw the ending.
So a bit of trivia. Marcus is hiding under that bag.
Really?
Marcus, the editor, came along for this because I thought I'd need some help. We didn't need him in the end, so I was like, Marcus, hide under the bags.
That could have been me.
Right under that Montbell bag is good old Marcus.
There's a human being in
the
there.
The man who didn't eat the chicken the night before, or ate the chicken that was cold.
I thought you'd...
Every morning, generally without fail, I get woken up by a hawk. At least I think it's a hawk. I don't really know a lot about birds. I don't really care for birds much.
And this is like the first scene of Abroad in Japan ever.
Use my alarm clock, so I'm saving electricity. So, in essence, the hawk has actually lowered my cost of living. And it's innovations like that you just look at in Japan and go, why don't we do that in England? Why don't we do
It's not 2012. Shut up about the hawk. We've got a journey across Japan to do. Let's go.
Where am I? What is this?
Hey. There you go. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause. Kinhakushidebu kudasai.
Somebody said porn acting.
That's good acting, thank you.
What a thing.
Well, you got to see 3 very different videos, and I think that...
If we're being pedantic, we'd do Journey Across Japan, Frozen Frontiers, which you're in.
I am in those as well. Yeah. And so I've done a good 8 or 9 videos now.
But now you have to help me, viewers, to convince Pete to come on Abroad in Japan.
I'm ready to return.
Every time I invite him, he's like, I'm busy, I'm doing a thing.
Not true. The last time I did it, I was there, and then I saw you 2 months later, 4 months later in the cyclothon.
Nightmare getting him on. But please bully him every day until he comes back on Abroad in Japan for another epic road trip / adventure. Preferably not chained to me. But for now, guys, thanks so much. And our podcast with Pete and I will be out on Abroad in Japan podcast on YouTube on Thursday.
We filmed it here.
We filmed it right here. In this room, we talked about nuisance foreigners in Japan.
Yeah.
Like Pete, spilling his Starbucks coffee
all over
a
that
lovely
person.
Japanese girl.
That was an unfortunate...
What a story.
That was my bad.